Good evening. And we're going to be doing a lot of streams over the next 2 weeks. Excuse me, audio glitch. Anyway, so we're going to be doing a lot of streams over the next 2 weeks because I'm trying to coincide my 250th episode with Chinese New Year on February 10th. So I've got to do either 7 or 8 streams, including this one, before February 10th. So we have a lot of content planned for the next 2 weeks. For tonight, I want to go back into one of my favorite animal-based computer games, the original Zoo Tycoon. Last year, I did a couple streams playing around with different exhibits for learning how to play in preparation for doing a MegaZoo I wanted to make, but the MegaZoo got delayed. I never got around to doing it. So I want to go ahead and start that project tonight. The MegaZoo, by definition, is going to be a multiple stream affair just because of how big the map is. So let's go ahead and how many animals we're going to have when it's done. So what is a MegaZoo? I'll explain as we get into the game. Let's switch over to the game now. So here's the main menu. We're going to create a custom map. And I went in yesterday to install the game and practice a little bit. And I learned we want to save after every exhibit because when it does the time release unlocks throughout the first game year, we have a few seconds of freeze that worried me a bit. So we're going to save after every exhibit. So we want to get the basic grass map large to start with. Or actually, there are other flat ones and other terrains. No, we don't want to be doing a lot of terraforming other than terrain types. So let's do the basic grass map because it's flat, and then we will max cache. And before we start laying animals, I just want to lay some infrastructure. This starting path needs to go because I found that the entrance is not actually placed halfway along this axis of the park. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to take the path. We're going to zoom out first so you can see what I mean. The entrance is actually close to that end of the park. So we're going to actually come over here and we're going to build a double layered path to the side of that. And this is the path we want to use for, let me just take a look. There's about that much length. It could probably be over actually a little bit more, in fact. Before I draw this all the way back, let's just see. So that's about how much length we have on that side. Yeah, that's a good place to lay the fence, I think. Or the path, I mean. Maybe 1 or 2 over. We're still not quite perfect. Maybe here. So that's the length on that side. That's the length on that side. Maybe here. We're getting, okay, that's about halfway across on that axis. Let's go ahead and draw that back a little bit, but not all the way back, not yet. And then we want this path. because we're actually building quarters right now. And how far back does the park go? We may have these a bit too far back. So let's see if I take that here and then let's check our length. Lengths are about the same, it looks like, or comparable. Basically what we're doing is we're dividing our zoo into quadrants right now. Is this the one I used yesterday? Yeah, so what we're doing is we're dividing our zoo into quadrants. Yeah, that's the one I used yesterday. And the purpose of these quadrants is because each quarter is going to represent a different section of the zoo. All right. So where the divides are, let me make sure I have that where I want it. Let's see where the line ends up being. Yeah, that's way too far over. So what we're going to do is we're going to correct. And I'll explain what we're doing in a few moments. Basically, I want to make sure we get these quadrants out first. All right. And now we need to correct this path. And then we can build out this path. Basically, we're marking the zoo into 4 separate sections. And then the last thing we want to do here is we want to take a decorative fence. And we're going to use the rope fence temporarily, but we're going to upgrade to decorative fences later. The purpose of the fences is also to differentiate the quadrants. That puts the entrance to our park firmly within this initial quadrant, so we need to connect up the path to the system. And we're going to, in this space right here, build our first exhibit. So this quadrant here with the stone path is going to be the forest biomes, the rainforest as well as the non-tropical forest. That's all going to be mixed together here. This other quadrant in the front is going to be our other biomes, mainly the savanna, but we'll also have like the highlands, the desert, things that don't really involve forest. And then over here in this back quadrant, we're going to have a dinosaur park. And over here in this back quadrant, we're going to have a marine park. The last thing I want to do here is I want to build a small lake in the middle. I think it'd be nice to have like one feature that all the regions go up against. I don't want to make the lake too big because that's going to cut into attraction area. So and when we build the lake, we're going to take these, so when we build this lake, we're gonna build the paths around where the lake actually ends up. And I'm trying to make it as smooth and circular as possible without taking up too much space. Let's even this up a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and build paths around. It's okay for it to extend a little bit more into the marine park just because this is a lake, but I don't want to have it extending too far. This lake is a lot smaller than the one that I used for practice, that I designed for practice yesterday. But I want to make sure there's enough room for exhibits, so it looks like we've made some lumpy areas in there, so we'll go ahead and fix terrain as well when we finish. I want to make sure that everything inside the border is filled in. And yeah, there's a little bit of squiggliness to this path. That's perfectly okay. We'll put up the decorative fences as we start building. We're not going to make money until we have animals in our zoo, so we need to get on that. All right. And actually, I blocked out an area here, but I want to build outward from the lake, actually, for now at least. I want to start up towards the lake, so I know which exhibit I want to build right on the lake corner, though. Ooh, we've already spent 3 in-game months. We've already got some unlocks going. That's good to know. I am gonna build upon this quarter here. So let's bring in 2 maintenance workers to start. And zoo price will start at $19 with minimal marketing. Let's start bringing up research and conservation. We'll bring that up to half. And let's go ahead and build our chimpanzee exhibit. Chimpanzee. There. Do I want to do chimpanzees? They're a good animal to start, I think. We don't have the... I'll tell you what I'm actually going to do. For research, we're going to turn on shelters and toys and focus on that until it's done. In conservation, we want the animals. We want foliage. All right. We want to have all the houses up before we do anything else. And we can also research the rare animals as well. We don't want the tricks yet. We may not get to the animal shows today. All right. We need to get our first exhibit placed. All right. I think we're better off doing the rhinos, I think. They're like giant ficus. Do we have giant ficus? We do, so let's start with a rhino exhibit. And they have a base terrain type of rainforest. So let's go ahead and fill in this area. Guests won't appear until the animals are placed, so we need to get our rhinos going. All right, let's bring in our first animals, which will also bring in our first guests. And let's bring in a keeper to take care of them. I generally do one dedicated keeper for each exhibit. And now we have to make them like the exhibit. So let's get in there and start working on this. We need foliage, grass, dirt, fresh water. To start, we need to bring in some grass, dirt, and fresh water for them. And the guests are only as happy as the animals are. Animal happiness directly contributes to guest happiness more than any of the other factors. Alright, they're not reacting anymore. Let's bring in some dirt now. Alright, they're not reacting anymore to that. So let's bring in some fresh water. Alright. Okay, we need shelter. And then we need rocks and foliage. If I remember correctly, they don't need a lot of rocks. Maybe they do. Maybe I remembered incorrectly. And now they need trees. I'm trying to put the foliage towards the middle of the exhibit so they have a place to hide while leaving the outside of the exhibit relatively open so that there's areas for the guests to see them. That's generally how I do my designs. Exhibit design in this game is mostly a cosmetic thing, but there are still, I still aim for a degree of realism. All right. I want to leave some pathing so that they can get to the shelter. So, all right. I want to leave a clear, open path for the zookeeper to get to the inner ring. So, what was it? 3 trees I took out. we're good to go on the rhinos. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to extend the path over here to this corner a bit. And put in a restaurant. And the reason we have 4 different restaurants in the game that I'm going to place around the 4 different zones. But we're going to start with this restaurant because it's right by the entrance. And let's take our path around it. And we will make the terrain, because we can see a little bit of the edge of the terrain, we're going to go ahead and mark the terrain under the restaurant. And what restaurants do is they satisfy guests' needs for food, drink, bathroom, and the need to sit. And we will set our operating price for this at $16. All right, so our zoo's off to a decent start. We're already up to 36 guests. We need to add now let's come over into this quadrant and build our first exhibit for this quadrant. And I think that given that this is the non-forests over here, I think, do we have, we don't have the, let's wait a little bit. That also gives time for some in-game money to happen. We only have 30 guests, but then again, we only have 1 animal. And they do need a recreation option, I think. We'll put a carousel near the front of the zoo as well. But I don't think we have that yet. Yeah, we don't have the carousel yet. It doesn't look like. Dino gift shop. Arcade has a dinosaur theme. A lot of the recreation options aren't available yet. But we're going to get another handout in a few minutes. So let's just wait and see what comes up. And this will also allow us to try and recoup some of our the money we spent on the first exhibit. So let's keep going. So let's start with a save here. And I'm going to save over the practice game I did yesterday. So, because that game's not going anywhere. Literal dead end. What I want to do is I want to build down the central corridor towards the lake so that we can start thinking about bringing in the marine animals and maybe some dinosaurs before the night is out. We're a half hour in and we... Okay, the zookeeper is still having pathing issues. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to scrap all these trees and we're going to try to build this in a cleaner manner. We're gonna do our best to keep coordinated rings so the zookeeper doesn't have that issue. Let's try this again. We'll have to do this for most of the forested animals, I think. So let's start with a central three-sided ring around the shelter. I want to build a tree right in that corner, so hopefully the keeper will get to it soon. And this will give the rhinos a little bit of a secluded area as well. That's a dinosaur building, which means we don't need it yet. If we build our forested areas with a level of control like this, we probably won't have to worry about zookeeper pathing issues. It wants 2 less trees, so let's take these 2 out. All right. And now they have trees to hide amongst, as well as open areas for the guests to see them. We need to get another animal in there. But I think we're about to get a handout. And then we'll see if the animal I want to do over here is actually available yet. Yep, there's a little freeze that tells us we're about to get a timed unlock. And we'll have a couple more of those before in the first year of the game. So in the first game year, so we got the animal I want. Do we have a quiver tree is the question. We do not. So we're not going to build our camels yet. Instead, let's go after one of our plains animals. The Perovsky Wild Horse. Do we have their tree yet? We do, so we're going to do our horses exhibit now. Over here. Ooh, we got a lot of stuff on that last update. We're still missing key things though. All right, so let's build our little horse exhibit. And we have to break a gap in the fence that divides the quadrants so our guests can actually go over there. So let's come here and break a little gap. There. Now guests will be able to go see the horses. What's your staff looking like? All right. Now we need to make this exhibit good for them. Dirt, gray stone, fresh water. So we need to start with terrain adjustments. Now this is not a forested exhibit, meaning I don't need to be so precise with the foliage. And it says they want some fresh water. All right. The heck? I fat fingered and undid the whole terrain reform. So let's fix that real quick. Let's try doing it like this instead. All right, that should be good for the terrain. Foliage, rocks, shelters, more animals of the same type. Let's start with shelters. There's supposed to be a large stable. We must not have unlocked it yet, so let's build 2 of these and regular stables instead. So we need a couple rocks hanging out. And now we need foliage. This is pretty flat, so we can see line of sight to anything that needs to happen. We don't have to worry too much about this plant getting in the way. We also don't need a lot of it, apparently. Now that we've added a second animal, we're up to 66 guests. Let's go ahead and build our Komodo dragon exhibit. I like the Komodo dragons. I don't want to build too much too fast. I need to give time for money gain to happen. If I remember correctly, they're not particularly picky. They like the mangrove, which I'm pretty sure we have available. And after a year into the game, we have everything available pretty much, so. Yeah, we're good to go. Let's put in our Komodos. I want to build down the path without spreading out too terribly much, but there are certain animals I want to put in certain areas. Alright, let's bring in their caretaker. And now let's make the exhibit suitable. Sand, greystone, fresh water. Okay. Um, Alright. Too much sand. I don't like sand. We need to add in some more rocks. If I remember correctly, these guys don't need too much. Okay, we're finally done with rocks. Let's bring in some foliage. They like the mangroves. These also aren't too high. I'm going to place a few around the interior, but I'll try and keep them lined up so we don't have the zookeeper pathing issues. So we have a stand of mangrove trees in the middle of their exhibit. Shouldn't be any issues with the zookeeper pathing. And it's been a little while since we saved, and we're about to get... We'll be getting more objects soon, but let's see where we are in terms of guests. We're up to 100 guests. Our zoo is making progress. Hopefully on the next unlock we'll get the right foliage we need for the I really want to get the camel exhibit in here because it's really one of the only standard desert animal in this version of the game. Actually there's two, but the other one is so closely related to other animals we're gonna have in the savannah and the highlands. It's redundant to put it in. Alright, so that's what our zoo looks like so far. Let's get a quick save going. And let's also see if we can recover a little bit of money before our next exhibit. That'll profit more once we have more people. Same with the restaurant we're going to put over on this quadrant later. The aviary, let's go ahead and toss that in. That's recreation. Where's the aviary? There it is. We'll put that down right here. And we'll build the path around it. And we're going to pepper in these little animal houses throughout the zoo where they make sense. There's like 2 or 3 in the dinosaur zone. There's 2 that are going to be in the marine quadrant. There's going to be a whole bunch scattered between the front half of the park and the traditional zoo areas. Okay, so we're a little less than an hour in, and it looks like things are starting to get good, but we're not at the really fun stuff yet. That'll take a little time. And as research happens, we'll be able to improve the stats of this building with better programs. We're going to build the chimpanzees over here as soon as we get... do we have the... We don't have the large bars yet. Yes, we do. We're going to go ahead and build the chimpanzees over here. And I'm not sure what tree they like, because where most animals show trees, they're showing the toys, so... This is a nice little section for them, I think, in front of the restaurant. All right, so let's put in our exhibit fence. This exhibit may actually be a little on the small side. Yeah, shoot, this exhibit definitely is on the small side. Let's adjust that a little bit. We'll bring it out to here. I do want to focus mainly on going down the central corridor so that we can get to the lake. Because if we can get to the lake, we can start building marine stuff before the stream is over. Maybe some dinos. All right, now this is appropriate, so let's... Now we have to make the exhibit good because it's not. Grass, dirt. So we need to add some grass and dirt first. And by the time we finish this exhibit, we're going to get another time release unlock. There it is, right there. This little freeze. It means we're getting stuff. All right. Any moment now, we'll be able to go back to making the chimpanzees good. And then hopefully we'll have the plant we need to make the camels good. Foliage, rocks, shelters, and toy. And there had been a previous message about it needs more of the same as well. So we're going to do a large bar here towards the front of the exhibit and a couple of supplemental small bars. The toys are basically where people are going to be able to see them. Shelters. And now we need to do rocks. We need to add more animals of the same type. I remember that message from earlier. Rocks. We've got a full complement of rocks now. They don't like that rock. We're going to section off their shelters a little bit. We're going to put a few stones around for them as well. And then we need trees. And we don't know what kind of tree they like, so we have to experiment a little bit. Oh, these conflict with everything. I'm not sure if that means they don't want any more stuff. They don't like that one either. Okay, so actually they're done with trees. That's why they didn't like anything. So the chimpanzees are good then. I built an extra shelter in case we get monkey babies, because that's something that happened with my practice game yesterday. And, oh, geez. I did not draw that path correctly. And that's a little useless strip. And I can't really extend that exhibit out without major reconstruction and headaches. So instead, I'm going to build a little river running through there. There we go. Now, trees, do we have it? We still don't have the right tree for the camel. So let's go ahead and build something over here on this side. Let's build our first highland animal. And a little insert here to put in a bathroom, because we only have the restaurant right now. And let's bring in maintenance worker number 3. Let's figure out what we want to build here. That's a forest creature. We could do llamas. Western juniper. Do we have western juniper? We do. Let's do llamas. And it looks like we may have to do some terraforming for this one, which is a pain because it can mess up our paths if we're not careful. So let's do everything else we need to do in this exhibit first, and then start playing around with shaping the land if we need to. So far we got llamas. Well, we're about to have llamas. Przowski wild horse. And then over on this side we've got chimpanzees, rhinos, and the Komodo dragon. It'll be a while before our zoo is truly impressive, though we haven't even started the savannah areas yet. All right, and now we have to make this exhibit good and start watching the funds if we want to start building down the central corridor. Dirt, snow terrain, fresh water. If we do have to terraform, let's try and keep it towards the middle and away from the edges. So we need dirt and snow. All right, we need rocks, shelters, foliage, more animals of the same type. They don't like that one. They want more animals of the same type. And they want some rocks. Okay, we got a little bit of an award with a bonus. That's good. They don't like that rock, so let's just get another one of these. All right, now let's put in some of the smaller ones until they're satisfied. And now let's go in and get foliage. And this is not a forested exhibit, So we should be able to get away with just a few of these, relatively speaking. There shouldn't be any pathing issues for the zookeeper. And now we need to make cliffs and hills. And we're going to sculpt this one square at a time and pray we stay away from the edges. Oof, that was close. Okay, it doesn't look like we've broken anything yet. Yeah, we're still solid here. It says the exhibit's well suited, so we're not going to play with it anymore and risk breaking things. We're going to get another handout soon, so let's try and gain some more money. And we are at 200 guests. That's getting good. Let's see what makes sense to put in. Let's put in a little petting zoo area. That improves guest happiness. So let's improve zoo marketing. All right, that should improve our guest flow. Right now, guest satisfaction is high, so that's good. We can probably afford to raise prices soon as well, but I want to get a little more of the cool stuff in first. The entrance fee is a really good value. Let's add a few more things before we raise the cost. We still have about 60% of our starting funds left, so we got money for a few more exhibits. I think I know what I want to build here in this little corner, though. Actually, it'll be this corner. So this is going to be another rainforest exhibit right here in this little corner here. And here we'll do something for something special. But I wanna wait for this handout we're about to get first. Because if we get the correct foliage for the camel, I want to go ahead and put them in. And then we can start building savanna as we approach the lake. I don't think I need to break another section in the fence just yet. We're only hanging around this end of the park right now. Yep, here's the handout. I think this is the final time release unlock. And then I think everything else is through research and conservation. But the more building we do, the more we're going to lose money. So we actually want to slow down a little bit. Let's take a quick look here. There it is. It's camel time. And then we're going to save again because it's been a few exhibits since we saved. There's a couple desert loving animals in the dinosaur section, I think. All selected research programs have been completed. So let's come back in and check off everything else. We're going to start needing these things probably on the next session. We're only an hour and a quarter in, so we might get to some of the stuff today. But I have a feeling we're mostly going to be focused on the front half of the zoo today. This is going to be a multi-session affair. All right, let's draw the rest of our fence in. Okay, let's bring in the camels. Now, it is the desert, so we're not going to need a lot of foliage here. Dirt terrain. So I think we just need dirt terrain for this. All right. Foliage rocks and shelters. They only want one rock. All right. Well, that was easy enough, I guess. Oh, we're already there. Okay. The camels were pretty easy. All right, we're approaching I want to fill in this gap here and then around the edges so that we can start the marine stuff. All right, we're doing well so far. And I've noticed I'm building these exhibits a lot smaller than in my practice yesterday, which means we'll be able to fit more animals. Let's keep building down this corridor here. Let's build it. Let's build a couple of special exhibits now. Oh, Santa's visiting the zoo. Nice. I think you can get reindeer at some point in the game as well. Why do we want this nice big exhibit? Because that's actually too big, though. Let's try putting it like this. That's more reasonable, I think. And actually, we're going to do this. So that I can do this. And since there's a restroom there, I want to break another entrance into the other corridor next to it. Not that we're using that section of the other corridor yet. Now, what am I building here? Let's bring in a special animal here. Are we ready for, I think we're ready for our first big carnivore. A tiger. We're going to bring in white tigers. Oh, I forgot a step here. So let's do this. Let's make our terrain so that we can get our tiger exhibit going. Our first truly spectacular exotic animal. Excuse me a moment. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Let's get back into our construction here so that we can bring in our white tiger. We're going to keep moving along the padding so that we can get to, hopefully get to maybe a marine creature or two, and dinosaur or two before we have to quit tonight. But I still got a little time in me yet. It's still relatively early tonight. I wanna be zoomed in for the precision work. Again, with the forest, I want to try and keep the detailing towards the middle. All right, let's bring in the caretaker. And then we need to start making this exhibit good. We need grass, fresh water, dirt. All right. All right, we need dirt. All right, we need shelter. And now we need to put in some rocks. And there's a good variety of rocks available for um, rainforest creatures. Do they like the waterfall rock, though? Of course, they're walking right where I want to place it. Yeah, I think that's a nice little feature for their exhibit. Too many rocks, okay. And now we need the foliage. I think it said mangrove tree. And these I'm going to just randomly place around. I don't think the tigers need dense coverage. They need a lot. They are rainforest based. But the exhibit is big enough. I should be able to leave ample gaps between them and not have to worry about the issues I was having in the smaller exhibits. I want to build my first savanna animal next. We're distinctly lacking in savanna um, animals. And that's going to be the bulk of the non-forested quadrant. I'm trying to keep gaps between them. Zookeeper 4. Which exhibit is that? Is that the chimpanzees? I'll address that in a minute. I'm working with the tigers right now. I'm overdue for some Morrowind content as well. Hopefully I'll be able to do some of that soon. Okay, the suitability guide says I'm okay, but the tigers are still smiling when I place trees. I hope I'm not blocking any root sac inadvertently. Yeah, they're still flashing green when I put something down. All right, they're finally done with trees. So let's take one out. And over here, we're going to do our first savanna exhibit. Oh, we wanted to see what exhibit 4 was, didn't we? Chimpanzees. I specifically placed the trees so that they wouldn't have any issues with that. Oh, there's some diagonals off. We're gonna strike this tree, I think. That should leave open paths all around. Let's make sure that the exhibit is still considered suitable. I have plenty of toys for them. I'm not adding any more. It's already a crowded looking exhibit. But over here, let's go ahead and start looking at giraffes. Umbrella, that's one of the earliest trees we get, I think. So I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and just assume we're good to go and put in a nice big grid space for the giraffes. And if I remember correctly, giraffes don't need much, so I think we'll be okay. also want to slow down a little bit with construction and just let gains happen. This is the first big chunk of the savanna section that we'll be building. All right, let's put in our fence. And we'll save after this exhibit because it's been a couple exhibits. The chimpanzee zookeeper is still having issues, it looks like. We'll come back to that. We should probably add a few more maintenance workers now as well, because we're growing. So this will be our 8th exhibit we're working on now. Ooh, I misspelled that. Can I fix that? Let's fix the spelling. That's better. Dirt, sand. And then let's bring in sand on this side. And we're okay. All right, we need shelter. And there's a special shelter for giraffes. And then we need rocks and foliage. They only need one, it looks like. And since it's the savanna, it's not a forest. And we can keep these wide spread out, and there won't be any zookeeper pathing issues. Nice big spaces between these trees. The giraffes do seem to need more than I remember them needing, though. Wow, that's a lot of trees for a supposedly non-forested animal. All right, we're finally done with the giraffes, it looks like. Let's save. And then over here. What can I do over here? A reptile house would be nice to have. Let's place this over here. It's too close to the aviary. Or we could tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do we have most of our structures now, so we're going to drop the reptile house into the corner. So let's build pathing over there. That will connect up with the main pathing in a bit. So we're going to have an awkwardly shaped exhibit over here. I'm not sure what animal we're going to place there, but let's get the reptile house going. We'll, we'll go up to the snakes program, the aviary. We're going to do the higher program. All right. How are we on animals? What's our exhibit list? Rhinoceros, horse, Komodo, chimpanzee, llama, camel, tiger, giraffe. We've got a nice assortment of animals. Let's find a maintenance worker. We need to fix the rhino fence. Where are we located right now? Alright, we're still having issues with the chimpanzee zookeeper. We'll let this maintenance man work on the rhinos. Where is the issue? Is the zookeeper completely blocked off? Yeah, the zookeeper might be completely blocked off from there. Let's replace that. Alright, well that should be good for the chimps. Let's fix this up a little bit to not be as obstructive. I think that's better. I think we fixed the issue there. Now, for this odd-shaped exhibit, something foresty, but not rainforest, I think. Those are grasslands. We'll do a wolf exhibit, I think. What's over here in coniferous? Pacific dog. Which tree do I like better? It comes down to which tree do I like better between the two kinds of wolves. Oh. We're doing this wolf. And then I have a special plan for the next section of the savannah after we build our wolves. We're coming up on 2 hours. But time doesn't really mean anything tonight. This is an awkwardly shaped exhibit, but I think it'll be fine. And it's called the spruce tree. All right, let's do what we need to do. Grass, deciduous, freshwater. So we'll start with the terrain adjustments. It does want a bit of deciduous going on in there. We need some grass terrain going on. We'll bring that in over here on this side. After this exhibit and the next exhibit, we're going to bring in a price increase for our tickets. And the chimpanzee zookeeper is still having issues. But I can't worry about him right now. All right, we need fresh water. Wow, the awkward shape is making design of this exhibit a little awkward, but I guess that's okay. We're building on top of our grass. Where do I have coniferous starting over here. All right. We need more animals of the same type. And we need shelter. We'll put one of these in each end, just so that they have a place to go while exploring. Rocks and foliage should do the trick here. They like that rock. Let's see if they like this one. Oh, too many rocks going on. Let's just bring in some foliage. We're looking for the spruce tree. And I think because of the narrow confines here, I think the plan is to pack these tight in clusters. I'll build a little cluster in the middle here and extend it out. Actually, let's make this look a little more natural. There are certain exhibits we're going to want a cluster like this, but this is not one of them. I think I want to try and spread the trees out. I think the wolf forest is going to be like, ultimately be like the giraffe in terms of arrangements. Yeah, we've already lost the note about foliage, which means we're pretty much almost there. Yeah, they didn't need as many trees as some of the other forest animals. And now we're going to come back over here. Where am I? We're going to use this chunk of land now. Oh, that lake is awkwardly shaped. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do it like this. That way, whatever we build over there isn't going to be quite so wedged in. We're doing something special with this exhibit because there's a ride here, and if I rotate it, it can fit in right there. And then we come back and do the path around the ride. And like the restaurant, this ride actually needs terrain under it. Like that. All right, and then this whole section needs to be painted Savannah. And we've successfully, upon completion of this exhibit, have built up to the lake on the non-forest side of the main zoo. We're also quickly burning through the zoo's original funds. Let's bring that back up, and we'll set the ride price for $7. And next to the elephant ride, of course, we will be putting down the elephant exhibit. And our elephants here, they like baobabs. Let's see, we need sand, dirt, fresh water. All right, we need to make another adjustment to the chimpanzee exhibit, obviously. We've just passed the 2-hour mark for stream. We'll need to adjust the chimpanzees again when I finish with the elephants. Foliage, rocks, shelters, and they need a toy as well. Like the giraffes, they have a special shelter. Okay, what are elephants supposed to get? Let's put one at each end. Okay, it looks like the animals won't be too difficult to satisfy. It's fine. This is the tree they like. I think the elephants just like a couple, not a lot. Okay, that's more than I thought they like. All right. So the elephants are set. Wow, we have some kind of bugging going on here. All right, we definitely have some bugging going on, so we're gonna save and reload, I think. All right, hopefully this will resolve the bugging we're having in the corner of the screen. It's just a visual glitch. It's still showing up in the corner. Let me try closing and reopening the game. Actually, yeah, I'm not quite done for tonight. We saved after doing the elephants, so I'm just doing a quick reset here of the game. Alright, that got rid of the little graphical glitch, and I actually need to do a quick bio break. So what we're going to do here is we're going to let money gain happen because we're running low on funds. And then we're going to build something special in this corner back here. And then we're going to build one more savanna exhibit. Probably one more rainforest exhibit as well. If we can get to the lake, we can start making cool things happen. Alright, but first I'm going to take a bio break, but I'm going to leave the game running. Before I break, though, I'm going to raise the entrance fee of the zoo and see if that helps me any. Alright, I'm back. It doesn't look like the zoo gained a lot of money while I was gone, but we should be able to. I did improve the marketing, so guest attendance should be picking up soon. Why are they angry? We need more food, drink, and recreation. Okay, good to know. That means it's time to place the second restaurant. So we have one in this quarter of the park. We're going to have one right here behind the. We're going to have one right here in the desert next to the giraffes. There's 4 different big restaurants in the game. We're going to do one in each quarter, I think. And this will be priced at 16. Is that where I have the, well, it's capping me at 16. Is that where I priced the other restaurant? Yes. But that one doesn't have a cap. We're also going to check our staff. We have 3 maintenance workers. Our zoo's getting bigger, so let's bring in 3 more maintenance workers. Let's check our exhibits. The horse exhibit is having maintenance issues. So they're slipping through by the bathroom. I want to do something here. We're going to build one more savannah exhibit here that goes right up to the lake. And this is going to be the zebras. Let's see. Looks like the maintenance people are on top of things right now. There should be somebody fixing the Komodo exhibit soon. And we're going to put zebras in this section right here. And wow, we're running low on funds. We're going to need to add a few particularly special animals soon if we want to keep the zoo going in an upward trend. That's a cool plane. Not sure what it represents, but it's cool. So let's start putting up the zebra. And I know the zebra exhibit is awkwardly shaped. You know what? It's not. It'll probably be, even though round lakes are better than square lakes, it'll probably be better for exhibit design if I just square this off a bit. So if I do something like this, and we'll address this at each quadrant as we get to it. There, that's how we're going to do this. We're going to fix the terrain real quick. I think that's going to be better for exhibit design. There's a couple different attractions we can put on the water, so I'm probably going to run one from each quadrant. There's a swimming area, probably not going to use that, but I probably am going to use the swim with dolphins and the boating. We can probably fix the shape over here a little bit better as well. And we still have to fix the chimps when we finish with the zebras. I just want to have consistency, so it's still a little bit of an awkward shape, but I think this looks a little bit better than the way we had it before. The zebras won't care. So let's finish dropping our fence in. So the zebras are one of 3 more exhibits I really want to get in tonight, if we can. But the zoo is low on funds right now. We're almost at 2.5 hours. So we're not going to make it to the marine park or the dino park today. But we've hit the lake now, so we'll definitely be hitting that in the second session of the zoo. All right. Foliage, rocks, fresh water. Oh, I forgot to check which tree it likes. But we need to come here to get a shelter anyway. Tall grass. The stable should be good enough for them. They don't like the stable. They like that one though. I guess because it's more natural looking. It says, and it said we need more animals of the same type as well. So let's actually do this. And then we can come here and do this. Now these foliages are nothing. They don't block my vision at all. And it looks like they only wanted a few of them. So the zebras are satisfied. That exhibit wasn't too terribly expensive to make. The petting zoo's over here, so let's add a recreation option over here on this side. Somewhere in this quadrant we're going to place the carousel, but swim with dolphins we're going to probably connect from the aquatic side. I don't see the... This is the marine themed restaurant. So this restaurant we're going to build on the edge of the lake over here when we do our marine quarter. Do I have enough regular restrooms? I hope I do. For what I've got so far, I think I've got enough regular restrooms. Let's build an exhibit in this space right here. But first, let's adjust this out a little bit. All right, maintenance worker, you're going to want to get back on the path because this section's about to be flooded. Okay, lake's fixed up over here, and we're going to build a little bit of an exhibit here. This too is going to be a rainforest exhibit, but which animal, I'm not sure yet. Let's take a look. I'm trying to keep some relative consistency with zoning. I want to put the gorillas near the chimps. We could go for jaguars. They like kapok. Or we could go with these black panthers here. Yeah. Let's do jaguar. Wrong terrain. So this will be the jaguar exhibit over here. dirt, fresh water. There's a path in the exhibit? Where? Shoot. Oof. That should fix that issue. All right, so we fixed that issue. So we need dirt, fresh water. And it's feeling crowded, which means we need to give it coverage when we do its trees. All right, we need shelter. We need to add some rocks. Let's give it some things it can hide behind. Where's the actual entrance? I want to make sure I didn't block that off. Right there. Yeah, we're good. Conservation. All selected programs have been completed. So let's go fix that up real quick, and then we'll add trees to the jaguar exhibit. All right. Looks like we have everything selected here, and everything is selected here. We need to add trees. These jaguars are really not happy right now. I think it said they like the kapocks. Now these guys like a lot of coverage, so I'm going to try and do clean rows of trees. so as to make sure not to cut off the zookeeper's padding. All right, the exhibit is good for them and their happiness should increase. I want to do 2 more exhibits tonight. I want to do, well, we've got a ton of area back here. We can do a few more Highlands animals, and then we should be able to drop a whole Arctic section back here on a future episode. Let's go ahead and pick one more Highland animal to set up over here. We could do a panda exhibit. Wow, this game is teasing me. We're going to do a sheep exhibit. Although we are going to put pandas into the zoo eventually. Or you know what, let's just do pandas. Because by Chinese law, um, zoos in the United States are not allowed to have pandas anymore. So let's go ahead and put them in. I'm very bitter about the panda situation. We'll give them a nice big area because I have a feeling we're going to have to sculpt terrain. And they're on Greystone. This is probably the second to last exhibit for tonight because I am getting tired. We just passed midnight. Plus, the zoo's running low on funds. Let's bring in the fence so that we can drop the pandas in. Wow, the fence just cost us a lot of money. We may not have enough money for the last exhibit I want to do tonight. How many exhibits do we have? This is the 13th. So we have to do one more after this. I don't want to end on 13. Wow. Wow. We're very low on zoo funds right now. They need grass, coniferous forest, snow. We're going to take this one step at a time because we're going to run out of funds in the middle of this. Wow, we're really low on budget. Okay, why did the animal guide tell us we wanted gray stone to be the base terrain? Oh, we had an emergency funding drive. That's good to know. Little patch of snow here. And some more gray stone in here. All right, we need to bring in a shelter. We're going to bring in the special panda cave. And the zoo's out of money. We need to wait for a little passive income before we can finish this exhibit. We built too much too fast, I think, is the takeaway here. We may not be able to do the last exhibit I wanted to do today, but let's just take a quick look. Yeah, there's room for an exhibit there. And then we can start the Arctic exhibit stuff back here. Maybe one more Highlands animal in the corner, and then the Arctic back here behind the savannah. Maybe. The pandas are not happy at all. And they're not going to be happy till I can finish their exhibit. Yeah, I think we're going to call it after this exhibit. I may go in during the day tomorrow and run the game for a bit without building anything, just so we can have a little bit of passive income so that we can start. Or tomorrow we'll have to watch what we have. So let's get the shelter in place. And then we'll be able to do the rocks, foliage, and cliffs. It's a big exhibit, so doing the cliffs and hills shouldn't hurt our path too much. All right. Want another one of these, apparently. Oh, they really like this rock, apparently. They only wanted one of the other rock. But they're still going after this rock. Possibly because this rock gives coverage? Maybe? Let's do some foliage. They need their bamboo. Where is the bamboo? We don't have bamboo yet. We can't finish with the pandas until we get our bamboo. Which is okay because the zoo's paying upkeep right now anyway. I want to keep that window open so that we can see when the bamboo comes in. Meanwhile, for now, we're going to zoom out and look at scenes of the zoo. There's something special planned for this corner. We'll probably put the gorillas in here. It's a bit out of place based on what we're doing here, but there's not any wreck in this corner of the park, nor is there anything that's thematically appropriate. So let's go ahead and put down the insect house. Wow, that's bigger than I thought it would be. Scorpions or spiders? The spiders give us a better score. We need to wait for our bamboo before we can satisfy the pandas. There's not a lot going on the Twitch music scene right now. Zoo income looks to be pretty good right now, actually. Let's check our other two houses and see what's going on here. We can do the max program on this. So we can do the max program in the aviary. So let's switch that up. If we come over here to the reptile house, we have not yet unlocked the max program there. I know the insect house is a little bit out of place, but it's fine. I'm also going to need to find a place to put the nocturnal house. Probably in the forest. The carousel will probably be somewhere in this quadrant, the non-forested quadrant. Hopefully waiting for the bamboo means we're going to raise funds. It's going to give us time to raise funds so we can build one more exhibit after the pandas and not finish on Unlucky 13. Since we have to wait for the bamboo, we are going to pass the 3-hour mark on stream today. The pandas do not look happy. It's cool you can actually see a little butterfly room inside the insect house. There's no such internal view. Actually, there is. If you turn, we can see the reptile house a little bit. That's nice. And we'll actually be able to put turtles in the marine park. So we'll actually be able to get even closer up on a different kind of turtle. If we come over here to the aviary, you can see some parrots flying around in there. That's pretty cool that you can see the animals inside the houses. There's a few damaged fences here, but I think we have enough maintenance men that shouldn't be an issue. Let's make sure none of our staff have gone into the undeveloped areas yet. Yeah, sometimes staff starts wandering around in undeveloped areas, but I don't see that going on here. So I think we're good as far as that's concerned. That's way more zebras than I put into that exhibit. Wow. And then, of course, the elephants. They got a little family going. And the giraffes, you can't even see them through all the trees. Camel exhibit grew since I've looked at them last. That's a bunch of llamas. Where are my horses? Okay, what? Shoot. We've lost the horses. That's not good. Some zookeeper wasn't paying attention to their job. Let's find the one who was assigned to the horses. Zookeeper 2. So we have an empty exhibit right now. We'll have to put the horses back in when we finish with the pandas. How's our plant research? They're finally doing the bamboo. How much does it cost to bring the horses back? 1,000 each. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, I don't know why all the horses disappeared before, but now let's come back, look at our list of animals and make sure we have 13 different types. Elephants, chimpanzees, camels, pandas, giraffes, wolves, that's 6. Jaguar is 7, rhino is 8, Komodo dragon is 9, llama is 10, The zebra is 11. The wild horse is 12. And the white tiger is 13. So all animal types are that we've built for are now accounted for. How's the research coming along? That's the progress bar we're waiting for. Once it fills, we'll turn on the rest of the research and finish the exhibit here. So it looks like we are getting income when we're not actively building. The zoo is turning a profit. We're still having pathing issues with the chimpanzees. That's something I may address since we're going to pass the 3-hour mark in a moment anyway. All right, Tiger Zookeeper, get over there, please. What I might do is I might put the aquarium on the land side because there's not a lot of room for development on the marine side. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. Let's place the aquarium right here, right before the entrance into the marine side. And then the actual crustacean house we're going to put into the marine side. We're going to position it here. And that way I can turn this bit here into an exhibit and break a path into the marine park here. And we will do this because it's more of a beachy themed building. And I will build some more pathing to mark off an exhibit location. Mark off an exhibit location in here, like that. The other thing we're going to do back here while we wait for our bamboo, upkeep time. Shoot. But we're quickly paying back the upkeep. We'll be progressing again in no time, very shortly. What we want to do, conservation. All selected programs have been completed. So now let's check everything off again. All right. We're going to build a special structure back here. The compost building. It's supposed to give us passive income from animal droppings. We've just passed the 3-hour mark, so I think I will try and go ahead and wait for the last exhibit, and so we're not ending on 13. But I've marked off space for another exhibit besides the one I want to build now, so Let's go ahead and mark off space for the thing I want to do in this corner. We're building a special forest back here. And now let's go take care of our pandas. We need foliage, which is the bamboo we were waiting for, and we need cliffs and hills. And it looks like the research programs are starting to research T-Rex stuff, which is good. That's a good sign for when we start building the dino park on the next episode. I think the plans for the next episode. It's funny, we're building the Arctic area in the extreme opposite corner from the marine park, which is those are two thematically related biomes. But because I didn't plan it in advance, that's the way it's going to be. We're going to place bamboo until the pandas tell me they don't want any more foliage. But we have to wait for money gain. So I can only place them one at a time and not totally spam them like I was doing before. Same with the hills we're going to have to build into this exhibit shortly. The carousel will probably build in the middle somewhere. And the panda's happiness is starting to come back now that we're adding the bamboos. But it'll be a while before they're truly happy. We still have a bit of work to do down here. I'm just placing the bamboos randomly throughout. Till we have enough. The researchers seem to be doing a lot of marine show tricks. Upkeep time, and man, there's a lot. But the pandas are almost back to happiness. Wow, it's taking a long time to bounce back from this upkeep. We may have to do quite a bit of stream time of just sitting and waiting on the next session. Marine exhibits and dinosaur exhibits get expensive. And we've been doing so much construction over here with 2 more exhibits I want to build on this end. And the panda still wants me to build some hills for them. Well, it's taking a long time to bounce back from this particular upkeep. This was a doozy. I'm not seeing the indicator about hills. Ooh, we got a baby panda and some donations. We'll be able to finish this exhibit and the other 2 I want to make. That's what you call Deus Ex Machina right there. I'm not going to worry about the hills in the panda exhibit. They're showing exhibit suitability and happiness right now. Okay, now it is telling me about cliffs and hills. So I think I do have to actually do that. This exhibit does seem like a bit of the maze for the zookeeper at this point. I hope it's okay. Pandas are a really big deal, and zoos in the United States are not allowed to have them anymore. It's really sad. Thanks a lot, China. Uh, I'm trying to figure out places that have spacing in between that isn't going to cut off the zookeeper. Alright, they're finally done with bamboo. Alright, we need to do some terrain adjustments. Okay, we didn't break the path over here. Well, we did break path over here. Let's fix that real quick. Let's do this with the foliage turned off. That way I can always see when there's an issue. Oh, shoot. Lots of broken pathing in there. Says they're feeling crowded. Well, you can go into your little shelter there if you're feeling crowded. How much does the shelter hold? The panda cave holds 4, so you should be good in the shelter. Can they not get to the shelter? I left them a path to the shelter. Have to be careful with the shaping. Says suitability is high. Maybe I should stop fooling around with the shaping so much. I think we're pretty much good here. And look, having slowed down with our construction stuff, we're actually making money right now. I should stop fooling around with these hills. We got plenty going on. Alright. I'm gonna leave it. They're happy. Even though it's not exactly perfect on the hill front. Now, let's come over here and fill in this gap. Right in front of the aquarium is where we're going to break the fence. And we'll also place a restaurant over here in the marine park. I didn't make the marine park as big as I should have. So we'll do the we'll do the orca show and the dolphin show, and that will be that. Let's go ahead and do some reshaping of the path here on both of these remaining quarters. Let's go ahead and have things ready to go for prime time tomorrow. Well, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. We'll put a bathroom on the aquatic side of the park, I think, right by this gate here that we're going to put up. Now, we are going to do a rainforest animal here. So let's go ahead and put in our rainforest base. Like the pandas, we're probably going to go bankrupt while building this exhibit. or the next one. Could do a Cappy. I want to do the gorillas closer to the chimpanzees. Tapir would be fun. We'll do an anteater. This will be the anteater exhibit. And they like almos. Grass, dirt, shelter. Let's do a little dirt section over here on this side. I think that should be good. Too much dirt. We need shelter. And we're out of money again. All right, let's put in some rocks. Let's switch to foliage. Because if I keep going like that, the zookeeper is going to be blocked off. Hopefully the anteaters don't need too many trees. Wow, 3.5 hours? Yeah. One more exhibit, and then we're going to call it quits. Actually, we'll make that the first exhibit for the next stream. I think I want to do my gorillas and my lions and the special exhibit, and then we're going to start the marine park. I think that'll be how we start the next stream. And maybe we'll get to the dinosaurs on the next section too. If we have the boat ride, I'm going to go ahead and toss it in right before we quit tonight, though. Okay, the chimpanzees are complaining. And the gray wolves are, the chimpanzees and the gray wolves are both complaining. We'll make that we'll start the next stream trying to fix those issues. All right. Meanwhile, the anteaters are happy. Shoot. Let's try and fix that now before it becomes a long-term problem. Where's my wolves? Those are the chimpanzees and those are the wolves. It holds too many animals. How many animals do we have? We lost an elephant somewhere. Conservation. All programs have been completed. So we need to cut funding to conservation because there's nothing left to research. Now, as for wolves and chimpanzees, we need to fix that. Maintenance workers seem to be slipping a bit. Okay, so we're not missing an elephant. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's sell the originals because they're the oldest. All right. I think the wolves are coming back into happiness now. The exhibit is suitable again, so we just need to we need to add another shelter for them, it looks like. Let's see. All right, the wolves should be fine at this point. Now, what's going on with the chimpanzees? The zookeeper's not doing its job. How many animals do I have in this exhibit? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Right. Okay. The chimpanzees have gone off the deep end, it looks like. Same deal with the wolves. We're going to sell the oldest animals until until the smiley faces turn to frowny faces. All right, they're done. Trampled terrain and poo is a thing. That's from them being unhappy all the time. All right. So we're gonna build 3 more regular exhibits at the start of the next episode of the zoo, and we're gonna build the gorillas next to the chimpanzees. We're gonna build the special exhibit I blocked out over here. We're gonna build another savanna animal, and then we're gonna start the marine park and possibly the dinosaur park. Things are happening for the zoo now. Okay, looks like the zookeeper's trying to get around and clean up all the poo. Zookeeper 13. What's Zookeeper 13 doing? I want more cliffs and hills, but I think we're okay. I think the zoo is okay as it is for right now. We're going to save it here. Here's a master view of the zoo. So we built 14 animal exhibits today. And let's actually check our animal houses to see if they have the max programs yet. Alright, we're still waiting on the max program for the reptile house and the insect house. But the aviary and the aquarium are at their max programs. So let me actually block. We don't need to block anything else out. We have a space reserved there. We're going to be doing something nice. We're going to do a few more Savannah exhibits over here. We'll probably do our first polar exhibit down in that corner as well. So we'll probably do 4 more exhibits at the start of the next stream before we start the back end of the park. In terms of guests, we have about 640 guests. If we have the boat ride, I'm going to go ahead and place it now, though, before we quit. We should have 3 water attractions available to us. We have the regular restaurant that'll probably be in the dino section. Did I do a compost building? Yes, I did. Looks like the compost building is building a bunch of profit for us. That's good. I don't know what the rate is on that, but oh, that's per month. Okay, then. Yeah, the compost building was a good move then. And we want to do a carousel. The carousel will probably be either in the middle of the, well, I want to place a Japanese garden here by the gorillas in this exhibit. So the carousel will probably be over here. Swim shack, boat rental. The swim with dolphins thing we're going to do from the marine side of the lake. Do I want to build it? Well, the elephant ride is right there, so let's... Let's do that. And that way I can see what I'm doing. We'll put the boat rental down here. And the dolphins, we're going to go from this other corner opposite it. We'll do the swan boats. And we're actually gonna start the next section, I think, by starting with some of these decorative fences. But we're actually just gonna square off this bit right here. And I think I'll do some adjustments on the other side as well, as long as I'm sitting here thinking about it. Almost 4 hours, we'd better call stream. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. So let's go ahead and make some quick adjustments to this other side. and then call it a night. We're gonna leave that there, I think. Let's come in, fill in the rest of the water. And that's ready to go. We can probably bring in some more maintenance guys soon as well. I see we have someone in chat right now. I just noticed that. Sorry if I missed you. I don't hear any high-pitched beeps, but the lake is ready to go for the next session. We have whole zones of the park that are earmarked for some exciting stuff next time. And we also have undeveloped area in the quarters we have started. Lots of undeveloped area we still have to fill in. We are starting to have animals dying of old age as well. So I just want to see, like, alright, so we do have an assortment of animals. I think we should be fine in terms of animal populations for right now. We have like 4 exhibits we want to do, and then on the next session, and then we'll do alright. I'm satisfied with the lake, and let's zoom in. The swan boats, they're starting to go. And pretty soon they'll be joined by dolphins on the next session. And there'll also be a restaurant sitting on the lake on the next session. But the lakefront entertainment is beginning. Yay! Alright, this is where we're going to call it a night. Let's save. And let's see, is any musician on right now? Nobody who's small enough to notice my raid, but we'll try anyway. Let's raid Christy Cates, because she's the only musician here who has less than 100 followers right now. Alright, so let me come in here. Have a good night, and I will see you soon. Alright, have a good night. Alright, have a good night. Alright. Good night.
To Mowgli's for checking. What's up, Uncle Evie? Thank you for the raid. Welcome in.